difficulties. We had to restart. Funny enough, we were all just complaining about buffering, and then the whole thing just decided to take a crap. Thank you, YouTube. You're awesome. All right, Will, if you could help me share this stupid thing out again,
Yeah.
uh, that would be great. um, because YouTube does YouTube things. It was right. We were starting to talk about Microsoft and Xbox, and well, shit, they decided to snipe the hell out of us. And you know what? I'll take that as a form of flattery. Because the only two times I've seen Jez get kicked off of his show after restart was when he was going in on Xbox. So I'm just saying, there's certain key words that YouTube doesn't like. All right, let me do this. Okay, round two. All right. Well, they canceled your Thankfully, you don't have to pay a subscription to YouTube to have a YouTube channel because that would be funny. We're back gets off the McDonald's Wi-Fi. Yeah, no doubt, man. It's like when you're at like a mobile phone store and you're sitting there trying to get like your data transferred over back in the day and you had to use the in-store Wi-Fi to do it. Oh my God, you were going to be there for 4 hours. It was so bad. Um, but yeah, so what's really interesting is I can see some of y'all's comments on the PlayStation. I can see all of them scrolling, but I cannot see all of them inside the YouTube chat. So I'm guessing they're probably gonna cut us again. Um, so let's just get on to the next thing real quick. Um, or let's stay on. I'm sorry. Let's continue with the topic. So when you have a company like Xbox who has these ravaging, ridiculous fans. And hey, kudos to them. Every brand needs them, whether that's sports teams, whether that's video game market, soda flavoring. Like every single company needs to have their diehards and their fans. So I get it. But just like I would look at somebody who tries to tell me that Pepsi is better than Coke, I look at that person and can sit there and at least say, you know what? In certain markets, Pepsi whoops the shit out of Coke. So you might have a point. Maybe it's because of where I'm from. Maybe it's because of where I grew up. But when you look at things like Xbox, you look at things like PlayStation and Nintendo, there is not a region in 2023 where Xbox sold more than PlayStation. Not a single region. There's not one. PlayStation actually beat them in the United States, which is supposedly Microsoft's best market. And they absolutely throttled their ass in their second best market, being the UK. And then there were times this year that the PS4 outsold the Xbox Series X and S in Japan. I'll never forget it. We had a month like where the PS4 sold like 8,000 copies or something, and the Xbox was at like 4. Like, those numbers are staggering. And then you have this big leak that came out. Then you have this big leak, and people are championing it. And all it shows is that for the next 10 years, Insomnia repeatedly. They get to whoop you like you stole something. And it's awesome to watch.
Ricky,
It's awesome.
can I do my little like 2 minute rant on Xbox and Game Pass and all that real quick?
Sure, go ahead.
So, as you guys, we've been talking about in the podcast, I received the Series X for Christmas, and my original brainstorming was, well, I probably wouldn't even open it because there isn't really a game that I really want to play. When I bought my son a Series S for Christmas 2 years ago, I ended up playing Master Chief Collection and the Gears games, basically all the Halos and Gears games at that point. And I thought they were amazing, right? Some of the best games ever made. So I was unsure. But then I said, you know what? Let me replay some of those games. And I'm digging through Game Pass and Nelson Gaming. We had this discussion. A couple things really bother me, right? A lot of the games that go day one on Game Pass are indie games, are double A games, right? You don't really get the triple A games on there, which is what's going to attract the casual gamer. That really pissed me off because we all know this. The main attraction to Game Pass is for the newcomers, right? The people that really or have been away, like me, from Xbox for a while, or even just gaming in general, who haven't played a lot of games. That's why Doc Dark really loves Game Pass because he's newer to gaming. So for him, it's perfect, right? And I'm glad for people like that. But for the majority of gamers like us, there really is no value because my grandma just bought me Redfall for $10, right? I'm able to get the Master Chief Collection on sale for $20. The year of Game Pass, right? Another thing that really frustrated me about Game Pass is in PlayStation, there's literally a section where you can just go check out PlayStation exclusives. And you can go there and see all the exclusives you can only play on PlayStation. You cannot do that on Game Pass. There is not one section in that whole God forbidden freaking system or subscription service where you can say, well, you know what? I want to play games that are made by Microsoft Studios. There isn't that. So you basically have to go on Google and research what are games made by Xbox, and not only will you get that list, but the list is fucked up because they will not give you just strictly made by Microsoft Studios. They will give you what they think is the best games. So, for example, in one of the lists I saw, yeah, Halo's on there, Gears is on there, but then shit like Resident Evil 4 is on there, Street Fighter 6 is on there, and I'm like, well, I can play that basically in any system, including PC. All right, so that's another big gripe of mine, the just the organization of things. And Nelson hit it on the head. They're connected to so much shit, right? Their big thing is you can play anywhere, whenever. But the system doesn't work well. For example, me and Nelson were trying to co-op Halo Reach, which we did. But every single time we started a co-op session, it took us 5-10 minutes of Googling how to invite a friend to play Halo with you. Because mind you, every game will do it differently. For the Master Chief Collection, you have to do it, or based on what me and Nelson were able to figure out. And mind you, Nelson has a gamer score of 20,000. I call him the Xbox veteran or the Xbot veteran, right? And it took us 5-10 minutes just to be able to link to be able to play this damn game. Why is it so complicated? That really pissed me off. Halo CE, the very first Halo, it took me like 5 minutes just to figure out how to do couch co-op with them, right? And then I get to Halo Infinite, which I'm about halfway done with that game, which is, by the way, the fourth time that I restarted this game because I get to this point, the halfway mark, and I just have no interest in moving forward, right? But I will say this with Halo Infinite, the shooting feels amazing. I mean, the kick of the guns, the shooting, the hit marks, like it feels great. Um, but the game is incomplete. The story sucks ass. When you're comparing it to the other five Halos, it's complete trash. Then you add the difficulty of just playing the damn game, of just getting your buddy to play the game with you. And by the way, you cannot play Halo Infinite co-op. That option is not there, which seems to be a trend with the Series X, right? Where the games you cannot play couch co-op, they got rid of that, or they do one part of the game first and then the other part later. Another thing that I was having an issue with is I decided to check out the online multiplayer with Halo Infinite. It took me like 5 minutes to find a match. 5 minutes. I was like, wait a minute. Aren't people like, isn't this their holy, what is it, the Holy Grail? Isn't Halo Infinite like their foundation? Another thing, and I'll make this last couple things short. Another thing, right when I got to the halfway point, there is like this mini boss fight that you have with these twin, I don't know what they are, alien bad guys. Well, when you beat them, which you need to do in order to continue the storyline, you get a trophy. I got the trophy, or not trophy for them, but whatever it is that you get with them. 13%, 13% is the percentage of people that got that trophy. Mind you, it's basically a mandatory trophy in order to continue the game. So now I'm asking myself, are people even freaking playing this? Halo. Guys, we know Halo. Remember back in the early 2000s, people used to wait in line for days just to get a copy of Halo, right? The Rock, marketing Halo, and 13% of people achieve the trophy that you need to do in order to continue the game. Like, it blew my mind. And one last thing before I pass it back to you, Thrifty. I put in my copy of Shadow of Mordor, right? How loud is that disk drive on the Series X?
Seriously? I
It
thought it was super
remind
quiet.
That's what I thought so too. Now I don't know if it's because it's an Xbox One game or because it's an older disc. I don't think there is a difference, right? It's a Blu-ray disc with game data on there. Super loud. Not as loud as the PS4 when you're gaming and it's about to take off to freaking Pluto. Wait, Pluto's not a planet anymore. Whatever, Jupiter.
It's still a
But
planet.
it's a planet. Yeah, absolutely.
It's a planet in my heart. Okay.
But it was super, super loud, dude. Super loud. I was like, wait a minute, what the hell is that noise? I actually had to go there, and my Xbox is still new, so you can kind of has that new thing smell. And I'm like, I'll make sure it's not overheating or anything. But that really took me back, man. And I was just frustrated with about man. Like I want to send a game invite to Thrifty. Bam, 3 buttons. I'm there. Chat. Bam, 3 buttons. I'm there. And this is a really minor, stupid thing. I ended up getting the Elite Core for Christmas as well. Well, on the regular Xbox controller, the way that you share is there is literally a button in the middle where you push and it's share. Well, the Elite doesn't have that share button because that share button in it got replaced with a button where you can select the profiles on the controller, right? So I spent 20 freaking minutes Googling, watching YouTube videos on how to share a freaking clip from this. I didn't know this, but you have to hit the Xbox button and then Y to take the screenshot. But it's just the little things that really
But where
you
can you
take for
share it?
granted.
Because you can't share it to YouTube or Twitter anymore.
No, so the way that you share it is it basically captures it and then you go on the Xbox mobile app and then you can download it to your phone and then share it that way.
Okay, so it's kind of like what PlayStation did with the Twitter side, but I can still live stream from my PlayStation to YouTube. Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
yes.
So, guys, that's. I know we didn't get to one of the topics that I was. We can cover it real quick. It's not going to take long. So, Japan, no, sorry, China put a passed something where they can put a limit on how much can be spent.
Hey, Warwana, I did more than wash my hands, bro. Hey, but I will say that the controller itself is really comfortable. The what do you call that? The joysticks. I don't like the offset stuff. It really sucks ass. But the controller it's good quality. I just wish that their ecosystem was as good as quality as the Elite controller. I wish their console was as good. Oh, another thing, guys, you are blessed. Okay, all you PS5 owners out there, you are blessed. You are saving so much money on memory with the PS5. It is ridiculous. I have like 5 games downloaded. It already ate up all my shit. Where the PS5, I have roughly about 8 games, and that's games like Horizon, Ghost of Tsushima. Data heavy games. Another thing, the download speeds on the Xbox, and at first I thought it was just me, but then I started talking with some friends and coworkers who also have an Xbox, and their download speeds, especially while playing the game, are abysmal. And mind you, guys, I have 1,000 or 1,000 gigs fiber AT&T. Baldur's Gate on the PS5, which is about 110, 115 gigs, takes me 40 minutes to 45 minutes to download. If I'm playing a game, closer to an hour. On the Xbox, it took Master Chief Collection is about 115, 120 gigs. It took me an hour and 45 minutes. While playing, it would have taken me close to 3 hours, almost double. Now, like I said, I thought it was maybe me or my internet connection or whatever, but the fact that out of the 8 people that I spoke to about the download speeds, also in comparison to my son's Series S, which is literally 40 feet away from my Series X, 8 out of those people, 7 said they had download speed problems, and my son, who's 40 feet away with his Series S, also has download speed problems.
I mean, the Xbox sucks. That's not like what you're telling me just makes me feel worse. It sounds like you had a terrible Christmas. Like it really does. It sounds
No, it
like
wasn't terrible. It's just, it's like you stay at an Airbnb and like, you're just not used to the coffee machine. You're not used to, and then you really start to learn, you're like, oh, this coffee machine sucks ass because my coffee machine at home is 2 buttons
it
and my
just
cup
does
is
all this
full.
stuff.
Yes. Or like my shower head has the stop button and the 4 different rinse options, where this one has one. But the Airbnb told me that it had the best shower head. The Airbnb told me they had top of the line coffee machine, right? And that's where I'm at, where like I'm getting all this advertisement from Xbox and from the Xbox community, and then once I do get it, once I do try it, it's like, okay, what's happening here? And another thing, I felt really not disillusioned, but I kind of felt tricked, right? Because a lot of the times you bring up some of these things, and people will say, "Well, it's because it's a Series S, right? It's the entry model. It's not going to have the bells and whistles. You got to get the big boy." Well, I have the big boy, and I'm still having a lot of these freaking issues. And it's not, like Nelson put it in, it's like, yeah, you have the ecosystem, but your organizational shit is trash. The way to connect within the ecosystem is trash. So it's just a lot of fluff. And then to top it all off, where are the freaking games? I mean, the next game we're expecting from Xbox is Hellblade, and we don't even have a freaking date for that. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
and one of the things that I had saw was there was an article already written, and man, it was just bad. I saw Porter Rock post it, and it was basically saying that Hellblade 2 is going to be just the thing that Xbox needs to like kickstart this generation finally.
Oh,
And
don't
I'm
do
like,
that.
dude, and that's what
Don't
Porter
do
Rock said.
that.
He goes, please don't do that to another game. Just
Yeah.
let the game come out and be what it is.
Yes.
Like, leave it alone.
And
Please.
Hellblade was never meant to be this big like triple A.
No.
Like, dude, it's just fine with the way it was. I put my headset on. You get the feeling like her, like you have this mental problem. Not mental problem, but these issues. You're getting these voices. It's kind of creepy. Like the lore of the game, the reasons you're there. Like, just let that breathe, man. Let it do what it do. Sometimes
Let
we
it
have
let
a
it
hard
come out.
time.
Let it come
I'm
out.
sorry.
Let it be an 83, 85. Let it be
Yeah.
somewhere around there. Let it be a good game. Let it be solid. Let it be 10 to 12, 15 hours long.
Yeah.
And just let it bump and move on to the next one.
Next one. But with
Like,
Phil, like he said, and this is the saddest part of it all. Like, I'm a gamer, I don't give a fuck, dude. I played this weekend. I played Nintendo Switch OLED, Series X, PSVR 2, PlayStation 5, MetaQuest 3, Series S. I play freaking mobile games. I don't give a shit. Wherever I can get my gaming in, I will get it in. Grocery shopping. I'm waiting for the check.
pause.
I'm on the pause. Wherever I can get it in, I will get it in. I go where the games go, dude. If I don't care if the console sucks ass, but if you have the games, dude, I will champion you because you do have the games. I cannot do that with Xbox, and it really just hurts. Not hurts. It does hurt because I want the games, but it just makes it even sadder because I'm going into this with an open mind. I'm not going in here to attack Xbox. I'm an Xbox owner now. I want what's best for the console, but I have to be real. And I'm a gamer at heart, and your product is ass. You're ass. You're trash. You're manipulative. You're trying to sell fucking pieces of shit and trying to pass them on as diamonds. Fuck you.
But they've been doing that.
I
And
know. I know. I know. It's nothing new.
and
It's just
but
it's coming
the
from me now.
industry, I'll say this, I think the industry is finally catching on to it. That's why their sales are declining so much. Like, we look at these numbers and they lost 8% this year. They were down 8%.
Oh, I thought it was like 6%. Damn, 8%.
Now I think it's like 8%, or was it down
I think you're
16?
right.
No,
It's high.
Nintendo was down 16 this year. Xbox, I think, was down 6. So, like, you end up realizing, okay, cool. 3 years in, you should be sitting here ramping up still. You should be just about to plateau. Like, I would be super surprised if next year PlayStation has as many sales of consoles as they did this year. I would be thoroughly surprised. Not that I think they're going to fall off a ton, but I think that now that we've hit the 50 million mark, I think that this is when, for the next 4 or 5 years, we start tapering back a little bit. Maybe next year they hit 45.
Well,
Okay.
Thrifty, you know what's in the top 10 that wasn't in the top 10 last week? Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 fell off the top 10 on the PlayStation Store and now is back up there. Why? Because of Christmas and the gifts and the new PS5s out there. So I I slightly disagree with you on the numbers. I think it's only going to be growing, and I think the PS5 is going to be the best-selling console of all time.
You think they'll sell almost what is it this year? What are we at this year? 25 million
Over, yeah, slightly over 25 million
for the year, right?
for
Yeah.
the year. Yeah.
Like, I don't know if they can do that again. If they can, awesome. But if they don't, I'm not going to be surprised.
You know
What's
why?
surprising is
We have
Xbox constantly trailing off.
Well, yes, and what's the cost of this all? The games. The reason why I
Yeah.
say that we're gonna do 25 again is because we still have Wolverine coming. We still have Stella Yams. Like there is a big list of games that are highly anticipated even by the casual market. I'm so thankful that I have a casual in my life. I have my cousin who literally last time he turned on his Xbox was 25 days ago and he's going to next week for the God of War DLC, but he's literally that. He plays God of War, he plays NBA 2K, and that's it. Okay. Oh, he plays Spider-Man and that's it. Like that's he uses his PS5 how an Xbox uses their system for movies. It is their Blu-ray player, but I think it will hit those numbers just because there's more games coming, and that's just what we know of. That's not including. I'm super excited for the end of the generation because if it's anything like the PS4 ending was, I mean, we got Ghost, we got freaking Days Gone, we got Horizon, and we got Last of Us all at the last end of the PS4 generation.
Yeah, man, it's going to be a good year this next year. It was a great year this year. I had a ton of fun on the channel this year. Had a ton of fun with everybody here. We're going to go ahead and wrap up the show. I promised myself I would not go over the 2 hour mark, and so I don't want to do that. I need sleep. I have a full time job, and so does Will. So sleep is important. But so I am going to go ahead and get out of here. And I just wanted to say, guys, look back on the year. And within the life of a gamer, we got to do damn near everything and anything that we wanted to do in our video games this year. Literally, thanks to Baldur's Gate 3, you could do just about anything you wanted to in a game. Like, think about that. You have a game that lets you literally do whatever you want. But you also have games that took us to space. You had games that pitted us against people in a far off land that you got sucked into when you went through a time portal or a portal to this new world. You got to play as these saviors, anointed ones, going to save the world from destruction. You got to play as Venom and Spider-Man. Like, we got to do so many things as gamers this year. And I didn't put in as many hours as Will. I had 960 something, I think. But guys, we love gaming. I know y'all who are here in the chat love gaming. And this year, if you wanted to kill zombies, if you wanted to fight other people, if you wanted to go against your best friend, if you wanted to race, if you wanted to have a sparring match and get into fighting games, you could have done whatever you wanted to this year. We had everything released this year, and every single one of them were at the top of its class. And so, or we at least had one game from every genre in the top of its class. And so we have, we're very blessed as gamers. We really are. And I look forward to bringing in the new year with y'all. I look forward to the first show of the new year. Once again, we're off next Wednesday. Going to hit it back the following Wednesday after. And guys, hit up that sale on the PlayStation Network. There's some really awesome crap on there. Whatever your spending threshold is, it has you covered. Remnant is like 20. Remnant 2 is $29.99. I think Jedi Survivor is $35. So there's a couple of the higher ones. You have the Tomb Raider collection that's like $12 or $9 or something like that. Like, if you haven't played those games, that is like 70 hours between all three games and the DLCs of just amazing fun. Like, check out those deals. It's after this. It's after the year. I almost said after the school year. It's at the end of the year. It's after Christmas. You have gift cards. You may have some PlayStation Stars points saved up. Like, get some games. Get some games that you wouldn't normally try. Like, that's like this.
That's a big one.
This Katana
Especially
Kami.
with PS Plus. Take advantage of that, guys. Stream the game first just to check it out, but please extend your taste buds.
Yeah, try it. Like, I'm gonna try a game in an art style that I'm really a fan of, but by a studio I've never heard of. And it's $6. Came out a year ago. Like, I'm gonna try it out. Why? Because I might find a diamond in the rough that I want to sit and play all the way through. And so, Katana Sword Kami God. Yes. So, fun fact, Josh, because I play D&D and I play Magic the Gathering, there's a few cards in Magic, like Kami of the Whispered Hopes. That's a card that's basically the god of Whispered Hopes. Which, so like, yes, I knew that Kami was God. I didn't really put them together and be like, oh, that means Sword God. But that is really cool. Guys, as always, I truly appreciate y'all being here. Thank y'all for dropping back in as fast as y'all did. Like the last time that, what formats do you play Thrifty? What formats? Modern, Commander. I talk, and that's never happened before. Threw me off a lot. But no, I got in during March of the Machine this year and never played before, really, and hit the ground pretty hard. But anyways, that is another passion of mine that if I knew more about, I would absolutely have a channel, and I would call that channel the Magic Initiate, where I just talk about precons, decks, things coming out. I am a Commander player. I love min-maxing, and you can do that well in Commander. But anyways, guys, I love y'all to death. Have a great night. We will talk to y'all later. Will, follow him on Twitter at Will777JP. Also, he does have a YouTube channel. You can find him. Same thing. Go there. Check that out. He posts clips all the damn time.
That's Nelson, bro. Nelson's got a YouTube channel. Post
that's
clips.
right. My
But
bad.
I do have Xbox Will777JP.
There's people in the chat while you were talking about your Xbox stuff that was like, I don't even own one. Like, I don't even have one.
Dude, there's some secrets in here. Don't make me do like they do on X and just call y'all out. You got 4 million hours on Redfall. You know who I'm talking. I'm just playing. I don't know. I wouldn't do that, but
Could
that'll
you
be me
imagine?
next, dude.
Could you
$4,000
imagine
on a
how
ref
hard
ball.
it's gonna, how hard it would be to try to find somebody to do that with? Anyways,
Oh
guys,
man.
y'all have a great night. As always, as always, as always, have a happy new year and stay thrifty.